Good evening to all the viewers who are watching live and will be watching on the recorded version. Let me just give you a quick update. Today's CME speakers topic, the PPT, will be presented on our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description. Just go and join our Telegram channel. Over there, you will get the PPT of today's speaker, Dr. Manish Kumar Singh sirs. So without wasting any more time, let's just jump with our 30 seconds countdown time.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening. Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
And we are on our 80th episode of Online CME Live. We are proud to present a very hidden superstar of NIH tonight. With him, we'll have another crusader of homeopathy who is serving NIH as a moderator, and by under the leadership of Kalyani sir and the teamwork of an entire executive committee of Alumni Association NIH, we are connecting alumnus across the globe. Tonight, our inaugurator, to inaugurate tonight's program, we have our alumnus from Sri Lanka. Yes, the Indian subcontinent, Sri Lanka. We have with us tonight to inaugurate Dr. A.S. Jeewanthi Alwis. We used to call her in the name of Sitara, but she has been 21st batch of BHMS from NIH and now working as medical officer in charge, Government Homeopathic Medical Center, uh, Rathnapura, Sri Lanka. Welcome, Dr. Alwis, in the CME, 80th CME, and with the
Thank you,
permission,
sir.
uh, let us start our tonight's program. Over to you, Kalyani sir and Dr. Alwis.
Please,
Thank
let us.
thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone, and welcome all of you, my teachers, colleagues, and seniors, juniors. All are welcome. I would like to thank first Dr. Kalyani sir and Dr. Mukherjee, Mukherjee Dada, and as a given this chance for me, this is a nice opportunity for me as an inaugurator in 80th CME program. Myself, Dr. A.S. Jeewanthi Alwis, Sri Lankan student of 21st batch BHMS, and now I am working as a MOIC in a government homeopathic medical clinic, Rathnapura, Sri Lanka. Actually, this is a great chance to all our NIH family members to share their knowledges and the experience with all over the world. And thanks sir, thanks all the organizing committee. This is arranged such a big stage for our homeopathy family. This is a nice opportunity for everyone, and I would take this thanks everyone to make this one. Today topic is actually importance of case history, and I proudly welcome to our Dr. Austin Jose sir as a moderator and of 80th CMC session, and Dr. Manish Kumar Singh sir as our speaker, main speaker, and welcome you sir, welcome you all, welcome all the hearing people, and without taking more time, wasting any more time, I will hand over this mic to our sir, Justin sir. please take over this mic and start with today's session. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Jeewanthi Alwis. I am very proud of you that being a student, now you are a medical officer in charge in Sri Lanka. I hope you are doing a good work to spread this homeopathic system in the Sri Lanka with the knowledge you have gained from NIH. Thank you,
very
Dr.
much, sir.
Jeewanthi.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. So at this onset, on the 80th CME, I thank the NIH alumni for giving me this chance to be a moderator of this CME, especially to Dr. Kalyani sir and Dr. Bidyut Mukherjee. So today the topic given is importance of the case history. Is a very good and a vital part because this is the beginning. If the case taking is a right, then our direction is in the right process and we are going for the right remedy. So today I introduce and welcome our speaker, Dr. Manish Kumar Singh. He has completed his MD from NIH. He is presently is the medical officer in the West Bengal Health Service. Earlier he was assistant professor in Government of West Bengal, and he has written a book of anamnesis. So I welcome Dr. Manish to take over the stage to share his experience in the importance of the case history. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Austin. Thank you very much, Dr. Jeewanthi. Thanks to also Dr. Bidyut Mukherjee and also Dr. Kalyani. As we all know about today's topic, and the name of the topic is Importance of Cases. As you all are aware about the topic, and we all are practitioners who more or less use this concept in our daily practice. We all are well aware about this, the concept of case history. So today, just by this short presentation, we will just refresh our memory regarding the different aspects of case history. I feel that this topic, case history, is a very broad topic, and we need hours to discuss in aspect of organon, in aspect of philosophy of organon, in aspect of repertory. There are so many angles. But so far this CME is concerned, so I have tried that if in a nutshell, we can discuss this concept, the concept of case history. So let us start today's topic, that is importance of case history. Just a minute. Just a minute. So this is the topic by, just I am giving my introduction in a nutshell, Dr. Manish Kumar Singh. I passed my BHMS from Calcutta University, from the college Calcutta Homoeopathic Medical College and Hospital. I did my MD from NIH. I was the 10th batch of PGT. Presently, I am working as a homeopathic medical officer under the Government of West Bengal. And I have written one small book, that is available for this. So now let us come to the topic proper, that is importance of cases. If by definition, or if by I have to define what is case taking, then I will tell you, what case history, sorry, then I will tell you, it is a journey towards past in search of simillimum, is a phenomenon of case history. When a patient comes to us, I just in between want to tell something. If anyone have any question, just keep it, and at the end of the session, you are free to ask. I will try my best to answer your questions. So, a journey towards past in search of simillimum is a phenomenon of case history. When a patient comes to us, basically he comes with a presenting complaint. The complaint with which he is more concerned. And when the patient is completed what he has to say to the doctor about his presenting complaint, And as much as after completion of the presenting complaint from the patient team, as much as the physician asking back to the presenting complaint, as much as we can go, all these phenomena come under the roof of case history. Next question is why we should know the case history. What is the importance of knowing case history? By knowing case history, we can establish the relation between cause and effect. If in a case, by eliciting case history, if we can establish the relation between the cause and effect, then by establishing the relation of the cause and effect, we have to select a medicine which can cover this cause and effect and the whole phenomena in between the cause and effect, and that is the simile. We have to select such a medicine which can cover the cause and the effect of the after the cause and whole phenomena in between the cause and effect. That is the concept of simile. Same history has different effects. Same case history has different effects, because one by one I want to discuss in different angle about the case history for better understanding. If I have to explain how the same history have different cause effect, I'm just giving you an example. Suppose there is a family. In your family there is a parent and they have 3 children. And suppose all their 3 children are boys and they're studying in a school. And suddenly the father expired. Now this sudden demise of father, that sudden demise of father is a history or is a case history in the past of that 3 children. How did it affect to each individual is a matter of concern. Same cause history has different effects to different individual. It depends on the constitution of the individual. Same case history have different effects to a different individual because of the difference in constitution. Among the 3 children, one who is very close to his father, who is emotional, maybe after the sudden demise of his father have the emotional sickness. Where the other brother of this guy, who has to face the financial problem after the demise of the father. And if his constitution allows the financial demise or the financial problem is very much troubles to his constitution, so he is going to manifest at the level of financial problems, at the level of insecurity at the financial levels. While the other guy may not have any problem, the sudden demise of as usual as to the others. So what I actually want to say is same cause history have different effects. One history can be tremendous, detrimental to one patient, whereas the same history cannot be the detrimental or injurious to the patient. The importance of the history we can only define or we can only assure after the completion of case taking, after the proper evaluation and analysis. Whether this history, how much it is important to this patient for taking into consideration. Because same history affects different individuals differently, depends on the constitution of the patient. Next, whether it should be elicited during first case taking only, not necessary. Because when the patient comes to us, he is no more concerned about his presenting complaint. If it is a chronic case, when we are asking to the patient about the past history, most of the times he is not aware. He has to memorize, so he is not being able to take. If the patient is not being able to tell, don't enforce, leave it. And if after the prescription your medicine is going well, then wait. We have to ask about the case history by giving freedom, by keeping in our mind the freedom of the patient. We should not be forceful about asking the history. No, you have to tell right now. You have to memorize right now. No. You have to provide freedom to the patient. You have to provide scope to the patient when he can have some such important history. He will tell you. So in the first case taking, if it is not possible to elicit case history, or if you are not getting some important points in the case history, leave it. You prescribe with other informations. But when in a case after the first prescription, your case is going on, when it is stuck up, when there is no any movement, your patient is saying that after the prescription, after the last medicine, I was very much better, but doctor, now what you are prescribing, I am not getting any benefit. You increase the potency of the last medicine, but it didn't work. Or after the prescription, the observations which are coming after the movement of symptom, after the completion of the movement of symptom, indicating that your last prescribed medicine was wrong. As hence observation number 5, number 7, but the ambulation comes after aggravation, short lived of symptoms. If these kind of observations are coming, then again you have to go to the back. Again you have to do the case taking. Again you have to ask to the patient about the case history, about the past history. At this time, what the patient at the first sitting was not being able to deliver about the history, when you asked, he went to his room, went to his house, asked about his family members, his mother and father may have something to tell you. And now you are having some important case history because we have kept the freedom of patient. So while taking history, don't enforce on the patient. If the patient is willing to tell, well and good, otherwise leave it. Then again, the chance will come when the patient will come and giving this kind of observation and information. But again, you have to do the re-case taking. Then you have to take the history of the patient. Then again, politely, gently, by keeping freedomness of the patient. Patient now will take. Because so far my experience is concerned, in many of the cases where the failure was repeated, I am trying my hard, but I couldn't get any medicine. I'm prescribing, but I am failed. The failure was repeated. But because of the continuous trying to get the simillimum, because of the continuous trying to get the right medicine, and when I'm getting chance, I am again asking about the different aspect of case taking, about the case history or the past history. And suddenly patient gave me some information, just gave me the clue to some medicine, and we fortunately prescribed the right medicine and it worked also. Next, what case history includes? Basically, case history has two components. One is past history and another is family history. Now, what includes past history? Unfortunately, this PPT presentation I'm not being able to show you. But maybe it will be available later as also said. So I'm just reading what includes past history. Number one is intrauterine history. I will come to it later on. Next is any significant disease or event severe in duration with complication or repeat. I'm again reading. Any significant disease or event, either severe in duration with complication or repeat. I think if I do not find a single patient who do not have any history of disease or events. We all have. So which history I'm going to take and which history I'm not going to take, we should know. If a particular disease to a patient happened to a number of times, frequently, repeated, severe in duration, one patient with that disease suffered for 7 days, 8 days, and with the same disease, if the other person suffered from months, if the same disease is repeated, patient is frequently suffering from mumps, frequently suffering from measles, frequently suffering from pox, frequently suffering from hepatitis. We have to keep it in consideration. Or if a disease with complication, disease started, run its course and landed to complication, and the person is still suffering with the complication. So such kind of diseases we have to keep into consideration. We have to keep in our record for the proper analysis, the proper evaluation, and for the prescription of similar. But not all the history. We all have the history of measles. We all have the history of pox. We have suffered, we have passed. The disease is not repeated. But if it is repeated, if we suffer many times, if it runs to the complication, then we have to take it into consideration. History of vaccination, history of poisoning, and history of animal health. Nowadays, vaccination is the schedule for the government of India. We all have to take it. But if this vaccination, if the patient, because of the hypersensitive reaction, runs with some complication, runs with some severe manifestation, after a particular vaccination, we have to keep it in consideration. Any history of poisoning, any history of animal bite, if such kind of history we find in our patient, we have to mark it. We have to put special reference to these histories. History of infectious diseases like tuberculosis, pneumonia, bronchitis, gonorrhea, syphilis. Because we have studied in our argument, we have studied in our philosophy, because these infectious diseases have special effect on our vitality, special effect on our constitution, and also at the level of miasmatic. Next is a history of body fluid transmission. Though in very few books it has been written about the history of body fluid transmission, though it is discussed in other books of so many school works. This is very important. If I get blood transfusion from someone, so if this kind of history a patient is manifesting, we should put special reference to it. We have to record it. Next is what the first point was under the topic of past history, intrauterine history, which I left, and I told you that I will discuss later on. I come to that topic, that is intrauterine history. Most of the times, as a physician, we do not ask about this history. Either we are not aware, or if we are aware, we are taking it lightly. But I tell you, this intrauterine history is very, very much important. When it starts, it starts from the very conception to the delivery of child. When a sperm meets with the ova, formation of zygote, and after the completion of gestation, when the child is delivered. So from the very conception to the delivery of the child, this whole phase is intrauterine history. And it is better if we can know the particular month of event or sickness. If during this period patient has suffered from any sickness, really viral sickness, then what was the month? What kind of sickness? How long you suffered? Is there any complication? These aspects we have to know. For the better understanding of this importance of intrauterine history, I discuss a case of biliary atresia. A boy of I think 10 or 12 weeks of age came to me, where the manifestation was jaundice. As we know the symptoms of jaundice, yellowish discoloration of skin and sclera, yellowish urine, pale stool, and it was congenital. It was since birth, but patient came to me at the age of 10 to 12 months of age. So as this was because of the age of the child is 10 to 12 months, 10 to 12 weeks of age. So whatever medicine we are prescribing, we are not getting any result with the patient. Then we move to the USG of the whole abdomen followed by MRI. Then this diagnosis came that patient is suffering from biliary atresia. The liver and other organs of the biliary channels are not properly formed. And so for the scope of homeopathy is concerned, we have very limited scope in these cases. So I have to refer the patient to the gastroenterologist and pediatric surgeon. And the patient went to them, and after that there is no any communication with me. So I cannot say what is the future of this patient. But why I mention this case, the biliary atresia? Just as an inquisitiveness, I just wanted to know where the other member or other child of this lady is okay, having no any problem. Why this patient suffering from biliary atresia? Then while interrogating intrauterine history, patient told me that when I was of 8 months of pregnant, 7 to 8 months of pregnant, my husband left me. And he married to some other woman. And in that situation, I faced so many social, economical, and mental problem. And up to the pregnancy, even after the birth of this child, still that problem is going on. And if you study the development of different organs during the gestational phase, then you will see that around 28 to 38 to 32 weeks, the liver organs and kidney organs. From the age of 6 months, maybe because of that very particular month, what happened to this lady leads to the development of biliary atresia or liver organs not properly developed. But so far the medicine is concerned, our scope is limited. But so far the development of the disease, we can understand by this intrauterine history. So this intrauterine history is important also for the development of the disease as well as prescription, as the case demands. Next, I will tell you a case of psoriasis. This is a case of psoriasis of the child of 7 years of age. Symptoms were psoriatic lesion, itching. Since 3 years of age, desire meat, sweet, hot patient, constipated, irritable, company aversion. After proper repatriation, I prescribed the medicine. The medicine which generally came sulfur, lycopodium, calcium, hospital. And as I mentioned the name, some medicines prescribed from this list, but no result. Unfortunately, no medicine is coming in mind. I am also helpless. I was also helpless. But patient is still coming to me. Then I started to prescribe placebo because I do not have any medicine. And when the patient comes, I start to give more and more information. Then suddenly one day this patient told to me, doctor, my health was not as it is today. It was very good health, but I very much deteriorated when I became pregnant. Then I went, well, yeah, why? Then she told me that when I was pregnant, I suffered from tuberculosis. So this child, to which we are concerned about the psoriasis, when he was of 3 years of age, now he has the 7 years of age. When he was in the mother's home, mother suffered from tuberculosis. And with this history, if you want to repatriate from Kent Repertory, as Kent Repertory mentioned, very medicines as no source, very few medicines as no source mentioned under solid rubrics. So we are not getting bacillin or tuberculin like this medicine. But after keeping mind in the history of this tuberculosis, and after proper case taking and seeing the other medicine like diabetes, street, hot patient, irritable, constipated, and after failure of so many medicines I prescribe, like I prescribe bacillin. Unfortunately, after prescription of bacillin, where the failure was repeated, sulfur and lycopodium, the patient started improving. And after 6 months of treatment, the whole lesson subsided. Patient is still under my treatment. But now my condition is much, much better. I'm not telling the patient condition. My condition is much, much better after the prescription of bacillin, which was very much pathetic when I was not aware about the history of tuberculosis during pregnancy. This mother was suffering. Next, I will discuss you about a case of unhealed ulcer for a long time in a female of 23 years of age after doctor. Symptoms are ulcer discharging, itching, bluish in color, tongue imprint of teeth, moist, crusty, desire chilly, milk, and constipated. And she has taken vaccination, rabies vaccination after the bite of the dog. And her symptom was that her ulcer was discharging, offensive discharge, very ugly look. So without giving importance to the dog bite with the other symptom, I took the help of Kent Repertory, repertorized the case. In medicine like Noxol, arsenic, sulfur, like SSK. I started with arsenic, I failed. Then I tried some other medicine, I again failed. But as the color of the wound was bluish, so I prescribed like assess with the consideration of some other symptom. I again visited infection. So one day again, as my routine study, I was studying Lotus Metriamerica by Robin Murphy. And suddenly I opened the drug lysine because I was studying lycopodium. Just by doing pages I came to lysine. Then I studied about this drug herin cupric in the saliva of the rabbit dog. And after studying, when I came to the scheme, I found there it was written, or it is written, you can go through the book. In skin, any injury after dog bite, and the color of the skin is bluish in color. Then I suddenly memorized my case, that my case had the history of dog bite. Then again I opened my file. And then I saw that the history of dog bite and also the color of the wound is bluish. With some other feature like the imprint of tongue, with the moist tongue. Then I put the note of lysine because that tactile patient was not coming to me. Fortunately, after 1 month, this patient again came to me. The doctor, I was not improving, so I went to the allopathic physician. They gave me some ointment. And after use of the ointment, it was better, but again it relapses, and now the ointment is not working. So I had the note of lysine. So again, after restudying the case, I prescribed lysine. And believe me, with this history of dog bite, as we discussed in last, cause and effect, and the whole phenomenon of cause and effect. And this wound is also bluish in color. For us, we prescribe lysine. And this, after the prescription of lysine, the very ugly looking skin ulcer, which was false swelling, is in a couple of weeks. And after a month, patient told me, doctor, should I come to you? I told him, your problem is solved. If you have any problem in future, you can come. You do not need any treatment. So this was the history of lysine, how I came to this lysine, with this history of dog bite, with the confirmation of the wound that is bluish in color. Next is a case of backache. This case is just I want to tell you in front of you people, in front of you learned people, to just understand this concept of case history. A case of backache, a male patient aged around 52 years of age came with backache. The symptoms was backache first motion aggravation, continued motion amelioration, working as a labor in a factory, desires spicy food, meat, milk, constipated, irritable. As we all know, first motion aggravation, continued motion amelioration. So I also prescribed Rusflex. I failed. Then I repertorized the case. Then other medicine is Naxgomida, Hospital, I prescribed and miserably failed. Then a patient came to the next visit and told me, doctor, even with your treatment of this 2 or 3 months of duration, I didn't get even 1% of it. It hurted me a lot. And but I was also feeling helpless. What should I do? Then suddenly, I don't know, because of the fortune of the God, my eyes were on the face of this guy. There were very scar marks. So I asked him, where from this scar mark has come? Had you suffered from any acne? No, doctor. This is the scar mark of pox. इन्हें बोलते हैं माता हुई थी. कब हुई थी? It was long back, around 20 years before. And it was terrible that the question of life and death was there. So my life was same, but the scar mark, the whole face is full of scar mark of this. because of the smallpox. And then he told me, doctor, and my this backache is also of long duration. I cannot say whether after this or before this, but this is also of long duration. And my pox is also of long duration. Then suddenly this came to my mind, we have a nosode that is verulinum, and this has also very important symptom of backache. Then why should I not try to verulinum to this patient where I am getting repeated failure to the other medicines? I prescribe verulinum. Believe. And after 7 days, when the patient came to me, he's telling me, why you didn't give me this medicine before? Now this backache doctor completely subsided. Where I was not getting relief of even 1%, now I am 100%. So this is how I came to verulinum, where the other medicines where I miserably failed. Next, the case history is family history. What we see under family history, diseases of blood-related person as much as we can trace. Blood-related. Paternal side as well as maternal side, as much as we can trace. But the condition is the individual must be blood. By this, we can know the miasmatic history. And also so many information we know about the patient. And next is the disease of the spouse. In most of the cases, you will see that the patient, mainly female patient, will tell you that after marriage, before marriage, why my health was very good. But after marriage, I started to suffer with this disease. But there are so many information, and that is specificity that is after marriage. So this after marriage had some importance because under family history, we have one component, disease of a spouse. So while doing the case taking, while eliciting the case history, if possible, you should also try to get some information about the counterpart, husband to the wife to the husband. Next, what is the importance of these cases? As we discussed much. This also has importance about the prognosis of the case. You all people will agree with me. A patient who has suffered with so many diseases in the past, a patient who has suffered with so many diseases in the past, if I have to say about the prognosis of a case while prescribing, I will say your prognosis is not good. Because their history of so many diseases has some effect. And while treating the case, we have to understand this burden of so many diseases, this miasmatic burden of so many diseases, maybe will not be helpful to smoothly treat this case. So I always keep my finger crossed while dealing this kind of cases. And I do not assure any patient about this result because prognosis is not. Next is status of fertility. The case history, we can also understand the status of. By status of fertility, I will tell you, if there is so many burden of history of diseases, there are so many miasmatic burden of diseases. Then in one hand, we have to keep the burden of the disease, and on the other hand, the manifestation or individual character of the patient. If the burden is so much, but the individual character of the patient, individual manifestation of the patient is also good, then the patient has chances to improve. But if the burden is so much, but the individual indication or individual manifestation of the patient is not very much clear cut, then chances is not good to this patient. Fertility of the patient is not. By one significant disease, I tell you one case. A female of 60 years of age came with the GB cancer. And because as the other doctors or doctors of other pathology told that lady for the chemotherapy, and as they cannot bear the expenses or whatever may be the reason they came to me. After case taking, I saw with this patient having the history of suffering from GB cancer, also the history of so many diseases. When I do the case taking, the picture is very much clear that of natural. After repatriation, it also comes very smoothly, and after confirmation, it didn't create so much problem. So in my mind, I kept maybe this patient after Natramir, maybe the history of suffering from GB cancer, but maybe she can improve. And with the God's grace, this patient is still with 2 years of treatment with us, with more or less normal lifestyle. So this was the last, and the last slide is thank you. This was all about the aspects of case history. As much as I understand, I share with you learned people. I accept the time is limited and the topic is very broader. So we need much more time to do justice with this topic. I do not know how much I did justice to this topic. But with this limited time spare, I have tried my best to say something about you regarding this topic that is case history. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Manish Kumar Singh. So within the given time, he has very well presented the importance of the family history and the past history in case taking and as well as in the prescription. As a sum up, I can very well say that he has touched upon the cause and effect. Along with its phenomena, even the same cause has a different effects in the individualized persons. The other thing he has very well explained that at times we think that past history is very easy to take. No, it's not. The very well in the first sitting we never get it. Even we used to get it in the second sitting or the third sitting, because we cannot force the patient to recollect immediately. We have to give a ample time. He has to think over it, and he can give a right. I can explain one case which was admitted in the IPD in hospital in NH only. For 3 years he was suffering with psoriasis. Initially, based on the symptoms, we have given him Kaliars, Staphysagrria based on the mental symptom. Later on, there was not much improvement. We have taken the past history also initially, but he did not reveal the entire past history or the incidents, whatever happened, because he was relying most on the physical sufferings. Later on, when we convinced him daily, he was staying here for around 1 month. After 15 days, again on the recase taking, we have come to know that he had a loss in his family during the COVID. His son-in-law and his granddaughter has expired. So, keeping this in the history and having a treatment history with the steroids, so we gave with the cortisone, followed with the cortisone, then we have gone with the Ignatia in 50 millisiemen. Within 15 days, all his symptoms were relieved, and till that is on follow-up without any relapse. So here, as Dr. Manish has told, the past history, we will not get immediately in the first sitting. It may be in the second or the third sitting. So that is the picture how we are getting from the patients. So again, he explained about the significant diseases and its effects, the vaccination, and the main thing is that intrauterine history. Most of us, we never give much importance to the intrauterine history, but that is very well required in taking the past history. And if you come to the uh, past history, it indicates the constitutional as well as the predisposition of the patient as well as the miasmatic influences in that patient. Even at times we get the side affinities also. Many symptoms or the disease which has occurred, maybe at particular one side. So these things we will get it evidently from that what affinity you are getting in this patient, especially in the side. The other thing is the tendency to catch cold or the infectious disease, etc. At times we can see that the remedy which has helped him in the past might be helpful at this moment if it is in similar nature. So we have to inquire about the past remedies, homeopathic remedies, whichever he has taken the earlier for any other diseases or his sufferings. That is also very well useful in current treatment. Coming to the family history, we have not only we are getting the hereditary tendencies or the effects, but this helps us in preventing the future diseases also. From the taking from the family history, if there is any history of cancer or any other effects, so we can ask the patient or his son or his daughter to avoid smoking, to avoid alcohol because you are already predisposed, and you can ask him to go for a preventive medical checkup at the right time. The other thing in the family history is very interesting is that we are taking only with the disease, not it is not only based on the disease also. It is one of the criteria. By going with the family history, we can know their socio-economic status, their financial and the physical burden the person is having in a day-to-day life, and what anxiety or grief is having in the towards his future. The stress, the grief, the conflict, if any, along with his family member, whether he is abandoned, whether he is having the forsaken feeling, whether he is taking care of, whether his children are taking care of him. So these are all giving the effects to select us the right remedy or the right rubric or the right symptom for our evaluation of the symptoms. So keeping all these things, I thank Dr. Manish for putting his effort, giving citing his experiences for especially in the importance of case history in the past history as well as the family history. Thanks, Dr. Manish.
Thank you, sir.
Kalyani sir, it's all over to you for now. Since Dr. Bidyut Mukherjee has left out, and we don't have
Okay.
any question answer till now. Let's just wait for the question answer on live chat. Oh, Dr. Bidyut Mukherjee has joined again.
Okay.
I will bring him up on screen. So basically, he's on screen now. Just hold on. Just waiting for him to come up and just do the main part. Viewers, until then, please just hold on. We are just facing the technical issues. For until then, just be on
Uh,
screen. And if you have any doubts regarding today's topic, just ask on the live chat. Oh, here we have. Over to you.
that's excellent presentation by Dr. Manish, and we like to thank Dr. Manish because today's presentation has been done in a very short notice for Dr. Manish. I'll request our respected Kalyani sir to give his inputs, please.
Thank
Over
you,
to you,
Dr.
Kalyani sir.
Mukherjee. Many, many thanks. My heart is love and thanks to our persons who are on screen, and equally thanks those who are out of screen, those who will be viewing later on. Today's seminar is a really a grand seminar in my opinion, because we got our moderator, our beloved sister from Sri Lanka, who is struggling and trying to establish homeopathy in the government level. Our moderator is our beloved Medical Superintendent of National Institute of Homeopathy, and our brilliant speaker of the day is from Ministry of Government of West Bengal. So this is a grand combination. And the topic is fantastic topic. I will just share my experience regarding this case taking. Only because this term case taking was a very rare term during our study life in Calcutta Homeopathy Medical College. I will tell you a bit because today we are having time. Let us discuss and gossip. When I was introduced to my guide during my MD study for my dissertation, and I was introduced as one of the brilliant teacher of National Institute of Homeopathy, and he will be a guide, Professor Shah. Then Dr. Shah asked me, Dr. Kalyani, do you want to make your journey easy or difficult? All subjects are available. My reply was that I usually want to walk through hurdles. Give me toughest subject. I'll be more happy. Then he told me, then you work on case taking. I was surprised immediately. Sir, case taking is a matter of fourth year, first 1-2 months subject. Case taking is a subject on which dissertation, research-oriented dissertation can be done. Then he told me, see, those who tell case taking is an easy thing, they are fools. They are yet to learn exactly what homeopathy is. You will change your views after completion of dissertation. You stick to the subject. I will not change the subject. You should work on case taking only. The primarily I was astonished, and I was a person of very determinative mentality. I tried that I proved that case taking is not that much important, because in Calcutta Homeopathy, I will tell you the history why case taking wasn't very surprising or very new subject to us before joining it in as a student. Then I started working and studying every pros and corners. Gradually, completely my idea was changed. The ocean of information are available in homeopathic literature regarding case taking. And in many persons, many told what they are telling. It is the key, the clue. If you are a successful person to take the case history in proper way, if you can properly evaluate after analysis and analysis, if you can repertorize, you can see the brilliance of homeopathy much, much more than what you have learned in your undergraduate courses. And I will share experiences you may get in coming our journals, which I like to present my experiences on case taking. But now I am to tell you my experience on case taking. One more thing I want to say before my experience, that you might have observed that this term case taking, repertory and case taking arrived much later. During undergraduate BFS course in Calcutta Homeopathy College, we rarely heard the name of a repertory book. I will tell you one funny instance. Then after coming in NIH, we heard about repertory. We saw the repertory. I will tell you one history. Then we started working on it. Then Only repertory was the subject in undergraduate. Then it was changed by the National Council. Repertory and case taking. Means repertory is useless without proper case taking. So it is clearly understood that this case taking in India is an evaluatory achievement of homeopathy by virtue of experiences of many tolerance. That's why gradually repertory was introduced in academic curriculum. Then the name was changed as repertory and case taking. My experience is during Calcutta Homeopathy Medical College study, in the very early periods, first and second year, I used to go to one local homeopathic doctors who was RMP practically, but was curing number of cases, huge rush. I requested him to learn something from me. He allowed. I used to go to him. So what I found that he simply there is a big khata, very long but very narrow. He used to then simply mention the name, the age, then the medicine, not even dosage. So in one line, name, age, medicine, finish. And he's curing number of cases, one after another before eyes. Unfortunately, he never used to take the drug, the reasons of the drug. And I was very much determined that I will never ask him why the drug was given and what is the drug given for the case. I was simply observing the complaints, patients were coming, and then next day or after 2 days they are telling I am better. This I was observing and I was experienced that homeopathy cured the cases. Never asked a single medicine its cause and symptoms. One more thing, he was used to write the name of the medicine in numbers 32, 62, 71. I was astonished. What is these numbers? I tried for 1.5 years to find out the number, and ultimately I found, by surprise, that the numbers are the numbers of Allen's Mathematica Index. That means the drug mentioned in the Allen Mathematica, those are numbered. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. And accordingly, we mentioning the name, age, and the number. This was the first experience of my case. Then gradually, we were learning. In the third year, we were allowed to go to the OPD. Then there we found, in the outpatient department at Calcutta Homeopathic Medical College, a narrow paper, size was 1/4 of one A4 size paper. That was the OPD card. There was a headline, Calcutta Homeopathic Medical College, different address, outdoor tickets, and within this 1/4 paper of A4 size paper, 25% papers are blocked by printing. Only 75% of that small paper is left. Doctors, our teachers, they are asking patient, what is your complaint? Then patient is going on telling these, that, these, that. He simply listening. Then after completion, then he will ask any other complaint. Our teacher say, RPG bolbe. Then he to ask only 2-3 questions. Mostly they were how it started, what are its modalities, any concomitant or adjacent symptoms, then desire, then occasionally mental symptoms. You are prescribing and patients are getting cured. We are rarely hard regarding case taking. When used to go in the final 4th year of BMS in the IPT department, there we found that a blank paper is given for a case taking. None of we are aware of the case taking. Simply we used to mention the complaint, date, how is he, what medicine has been given by your teachers. And the teacher used to ask the same question, that few questions only, as I told you, and they used to prescribe. This was the history of case taking in Calcutta Homeopathy College among my teachers and the students and my fellow mates. We are growing, we are seeing number of cases, critical cases improving. Not only that, by seeing the improvement of homeopathy by homeopathic medicine, by our teachers. Number of brilliant, famous allopathic doctors used to teach us in Calcutta Homeopathy College, mostly free of cost or a very narrow honorarium. And they are very happy to start this homeopathic system medicine for the effect of homeopathic medicine. That was the brilliance of our teachers. Now, by this time, fortunately, we got a chance for appearing in the NIH entrance examination. During the examination hall, we heard that books are allowed. And we heard there will be some questions from repertory, a book named repertory. Fortunately or unfortunately, Dr. Sunim, when I entered the examination hall, I found that my seat number is just by the side of Dr. Sunim Alkaka. And one more history that before coming to the NIH examination hall, before coming in the NIH hall, Dr. Sunimal was our enemy. Why? Because our teacher selected him as a residential medical officer. At that time, we were in the final year. Our demands was there should be proper advertisement, selection, then somebody will come as a permanent post of hospital. That's why there was one movement with the administration. But fortunately or unfortunately, by coming to the examination hall, we found that Dr. Sunivar Sarkar's seat number is just beside me. And he has got a big book. Question paper came out, none of us talked because of the relation that we had on the course. Then when repartee portion came in the question paper, then I asked Dr. Sarkar, this is reported. Dr. Sunivar Sarkar said, yes, it is reported. For this first time I am seeing this book. Do you know how to open it? I don't know. Then what to do? Then we both decided on that examination hall, we have to leave the questions which are doubtful. And we had to do this. This was the first introduction or entrance of repertory book to us, that was 10th repertory. After getting chance in dependent course, gradually many teachers, brilliant teachers came to our classes and make us understand the importance of repertory. Then gradually we try to realize the importance of repertory through case taking. What we have learned, we have experienced that what we have seen in Calcutta Homeopathic Medical College among our teachers was the crystals, super saturated crystals. They have gone through the mathematical vividly. They have acquired extremes of knowledge in Mathematica, and those crystallized experience was exposed or given to the patient and to the student that we observed. Many of our friends we have seen, those who are observing simply those indications and prescriptions as per our teacher, they are miserably failed because they did not have that range of saturation. That is why they were simply going to copy and with miserable failure. We realized that the knowledge acquired by our teachers are the essence of repertory, Mathematica, all these subjects. Their views, their vision has been completely crystallized after supersaturation of Mathematica. Then gradually realized this should be a definite process of education system that without repertorization, without evaluation, after analysis and synthesis, proper medicine means chances. You may be successful, may not be successful, because repertory is a motion. Simply by learning few things, it is not possible to complete a patient. It's cure. So naturally, this case taking, one more thing I want to tell you, that after coming in NIH, by consulting Dr. Sundar Sarkar, my friends and our teachers, then you realize that what is Sunimar Sarkar, why our teachers selected him. We heard that B.A. Chakraborty had such a memory, Dr. Bholanath Chakraborty, that from our teachers we heard that teachers were scared to come in the class where B.N. Chakraborty was a student without preparation. He will ask few questions which will embarrass the teachers. In coming in NIH, after coming in contact with Srinivas Thakur, we realized that his memory is unparalleled. that result you are getting today for university is. So anyway, and we gradually realized repertoire should be a must because the ocean of knowledge, which is not possible by mathematics of anybody. That's why repertoire should be the subject most important before starting treatment. What we have seen that repertorization is a hunting mechanism, searching mechanism. In the very beginning, if we practice detailed case history and hunting uncommon peculiars, then automatically, within a very short period, we'll develop the eye, the vision, the brain of concentrated mind that will quickly target, quickly get the information exactly needed for proper precision, that is uncommon peculiar symptoms. What we have experienced that when you go to a typewriter or a computer knobs or a laptop, well, in the very first day, we have to search where is A, where is B, where is C, because they are not in the alphabetical order. We have to start, find out, then click it, getting the result. But in a very short time, if we go on doing this thing, searching, finding and targeting, gradually, we become accustomed and we need not to see the knobs of A, B, C, D of the laptop or computer, automatically fingers goes there. What is this? That our brains are being trained, the process of hunting automatically the things will come in. As you have seen, Galileo, who was searching and got it, searching was the first target for any scientist. So this case taking is a searching mechanism in the beginning, especially in the practice. If we go on detailed case taking, then careful evaluation, analysis and synthesis, then automatically the unconscious interest will come within our brain. And if we go on practicing this case taking mechanism for a long period, at least a pretty long period, then that vision will automatically develop, which was within my teachers by a glance, by only few symptoms, by few words. Our teachers used to take the case history by few words, rarely by a sentence. Very brief case taking. And within 1 page or 2 pages of that little page, I told patient is completely getting cured. That means the entire essence of the case taking was in their mind. Their mind was so much searchful that at a glance they used to find what are the questions to ask for to give relief to the patient. That vision we have to develop only through the case taking, proper case taking, sincere case taking, with the attention that not even the stone should be unturned for the patient. The things exposed to me may not be complete, maybe an iceberg, maybe 90%. The main things are not being told, not being exposed. That I have to bring out. That's why our brilliant speaker was telling today that maybe in the third case taking, fourth time case taking, third, fourth cases will give you these symptoms as we are discussing today. So the value of case taking, the importance of case taking to such extent that to develop the vision, to develop that eye, to get maximum number of successes depends on proper case taking. So anyway, this is my experience regarding the case taking, evolution of case taking since 1974. Means 50 years of experiences. And we must understand that my 50 years experience is taking repertoire is the essential, case taking is the essential part. And more 50 years back, this my teachers, definitely they were exposed to all the literature. They were doing all these things. May not be in the literal form of taking a case, the printed form or full form, but they used to take the cases in their mind through eyes and ears and manifestation of the nations. Anyway, to get proper success, case taking is a must and must. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, sir. That's awesome sharing of experience, and that's why the platform has been made. It's a sharing of experience from the seniors and from the starter of homeopathic practice. From all aspects, we can learn by sharing our experiences with each other. And it's
Sure.
a request and appeal to all the alumnus of NIH across the globe. Please come forward Never hesitate to call us, to WhatsApp us, or to mail us. Every description is given there on the Facebook page, on the YouTube description chart of this show, and on the YouTube channel. Please never hesitate to come forward and share your experience. This platform is not that we are going to call. We are inviting each and every one of 2,800 plus alumni of National Institute of Homeopathy since its inception in 1975. And now 34th, Dr. Astin, now it's 34th under UG batch is going. Dr.
Yes, sir.
Astin, 34th UG batch is now in the first year.
Yes, sir.
So so many batches across the time span we are gaining, and we want to do something great for the pathy. So everybody will be a part of it. Please come forward and share your experiences. Like due to some very the health issues of health challenges for previously declared speaker, we had to shift his session for 8th of October. But we like to thank Dr. Manish, whom the invitation had been sent by his senior, Dr. Professor Ashok Rai, and he had accepted it, and he was overjoyed with the invitation. So it's like we'll connect each other through this network of alumnus and alumni association. Please come forward, be there. We have the WhatsApp group, we have the Telegram group, we have the Facebook page, Facebook group. We are eager to connect with each and every one of you across the globe. My dear brothers and sisters of National Institute of Homeopathy alumni, please come forward and join the Alumni Association with this move for the betterment, for the growth of National Institute of Homeopathy and homeopathy at large. With your permission, Kalyani sir, let us end the session tonight, and we'll return back to our backstage editor.
This is just one language I want to tell one sentence that brothers and sisters, all the alumni, all of us are waiting to learn from you. And we never believe that even a single alumni of NIH has got nothing to contribute to others. So please come
Right, sir.
forward. Whatever experience you are having, even a single sentence will be helpful for all of us. Please come forward. Thank you very much, Bidyut.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And thank
Thank
you,
you,
Dr.
sir.
Austin. And so far, so I had been checking on the live chat. There is no further questions. But this tonight we had a very important topic for the students, for the practitioners, and for the homeopathic fraternity. So this will be a referral CME, and I think it will be having a large number of views in the coming days. And with your permission, sir, let us return back to our backstage editor.
Good night to all of you, and thanks to all.
Good night, sir. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
And you, Orko. Over to you, Orko. Orko, I think network connectivity is a challenge now.
Definitely.
We are ending the session here itself. Uh,
Okay.
Dr. Jeewanthi is also here. She had completed her duty, and I'm trying to bring her on stage.
Please
Thank you.
bring her. We are to request her to come
Yes.
as a speaker along with her friends.
Yeah, Dr.
We have
Jeewanthi,
heard
we
that
want uh,
they are, they are facing great challenges in Sri Lanka.
Dr. Jeewanthi, we want you and your colleagues in Sri Lanka as a speaker in the coming days. We are ending the session. Good night, sir.
Okay. Good night. Good night. Good night to all.